This July, with my friend Tracy, I visited the little Alabama town of Monroeville. Known as the literary capital of Alabama for producing some of America's most beloved writers, you will see why this inspirational town should be a must-see destination on your next staycation or visit to Alabama. I'm super grateful to Penelope Hines, Executive Director of the Monroeville Chamber of Commerce, who took us on a wonderful walking tour of downtown and a personal tour of the famous Courthouse Museum. We're about to begin our tour of Monroeville. Hi, Penelope.
Hey, how you doing?
Thanks so much for joining me here today.
Glad to have y'all in Monroeville. So we're just going to start. We're going to walk over to the courthouse, and I'll just kind of talk as we go. Hey, John, how you doing?
Hey, how are y'all?
Hey.
Okay, this is Southern Hospitality.
I know, I'm telling you,
see how many people I've seen know all the way?
Everybody
already?
has been sweet. Our people at the hotel this morning said, "How you doing? You enjoying yourself?"
Okay, so this is our courthouse, and looks like they're doing a little paint job on it right this morning, but we'll start right here. This is a monument to Atticus Finch. It's a good little shady spot too for the summer day. This monument was put here not by Monroeville, but by the Alabama State Bar Association. And we think it's so funny because they're honoring a fictional character of a lawyer. But anyway, the courthouse, we'll talk as we go. The courthouse was built in 1903, and it was the first public building in Monroe County. And it was kind of a scandal at the time because it was not built by local people. Now, you know, we're a small southern town. We want to do everything local. They got an architect from New Orleans. That was just a total scandal. The probate judge got so much heck about that. He was not elected.
Oh no!
This. He was not elected.
They were gonna cut strings for them.
So they got an architect from out of town, and then they had the contractors work from out of town. So that was just made everybody so mad. Of course, we got a little work going on today.
That's awesome, though. Restoring. I'm all about preservation.
So every spring we have our local To Kill a Mockingbird production. It's put on by the Mockingbird company, and they handle the whole thing. And this is Nell Harper Lee's company. It is her company, so it's put on the way she would want it to be put on. So this is the outside set of our spring production. That is always, the first act is always outside, and then the second act is in the courtroom.
Okay.
And so come on, and I'm going to show you the set. We have in spring, we have all of this set up with chairs. If you have not done it, if you have not come to the play, you've got to come.
I can't wait.
It's always one of the top 10 events in Alabama by Alabama State Tourism. So we've got the three houses here. I bet you can guess which one would be Boo Radley's house. So this was Boo Radley's house, represents Boo Radley's. This represents the Finch home. And then this is supposed to be two houses. We're pretending it's two houses.
Sure.
It's Miss Maldy.
It's for theater.
That's right. Miss Maldy and Miss DeBose, who were friends of the Finches. And then if you come over this way, I'll show you our pretend jail for the scenes when Tom Robinson is in jail. You can look up and see the
the strip
on the window there.
yeah.
And that's part there, as if you remember the scene when Atticus is sitting outside of the jail with his lamp and his book, and they're worried that the lynch mob would come for Tom Robinson. That's the part of the set there too. So now if you want to look around, we'll flip around and pretend that this is old time Monroeville. And Mr. A.C. Lee, who was Harper Lee's father, was a lawyer. He practiced right here in downtown Monroeville, would practice in the courtroom. His office, you'll have to come up this way, I'll show you. Okay. So A.C. Lee, who was Harper Lee's father, his office building was on the second floor, those arched windows at the end. That was his office. And then we had the jail that was right here, the jail. And then beside that was the Monroe Journal. So A.C. Lee, as a lawyer, he didn't have to go far for his business. He could go see a client at the jail. He could go have his cases heard in the courthouse. The Monroe Journal was there if they ever needed to do it. So it's all right here, and I'll walk and show you where his house was too.
Okay.
Now here is another one of our little bronze sculptures. Okay. And this represents, of course, Harper Lee and To Kill a Mockingbird. the gavel for the courtroom. And we'll walk over this way.
So you were saying how many literary writers are from this
It's
area?
like 13.
13. So there's a lot of inspiration.
There is a
from this
lot
area.
of inspiration here, and we'll show you different ones that are the sculptures that are sprinkled around. So this sculpture, this is called the Celebration of Reading, and as you can see, it's Scout, Bill, and Jim here. And if you ever want to come, this is a perfect place to take a picture. You can sit right there, and you can bend down and get the picture of the courthouse in the same picture. So we've got the sculptures all around, and then we have the murals in different places too.
So Penelope, how long have you been here?
I was born and raised here, graduated from high school here, went off to Auburn. That's why I'm
There
very
you
smart.
go.
'Cause I went
Come
to
on,
Auburn.
Tiger fans.
And then I actually I was a teacher, lived in Decatur, Alabama, in North Alabama, near high
Okay.
school, like y'all do.
Good morning.
Hey. So this is a mural that is representing Truman Capote's famous book, A Christmas Memory.
Okay.
And so Truman spent a lot of his time here in Monroeville, and I'll tell you about that when we go over to that site. But he always said that this book, A Christmas Memory, was really based on his time living here in Monroeville.
Okay.
So,
Crazy.
how are y'all?
All right, you doing all right?
Hey.
Fine. Hey, how you doing? Oh, let me see. All right. This is another one of our murals we're very proud of that's depicting another scene of To Kill a Mockingbird, and you can see the kids looking behind a tree there. On the other side too, at Lee Motor Company, and it's no relation to Nell Harper Lee, but Lee Motor Company is an old dealership we have here, but they have a Mockingbird there too. We have one for Nell Harper Lee's sister.
Oh,
And
okay.
Her sister, Alice Lee, was a lawyer here. Alice Finch Lee is her name. So you can see where she kind of got the last name Finch for Harper Lee. But she was a lawyer here in Monroeville and practiced until she was 100 years old.
Wow.
Literally practiced till she was 100 years old. Her office was right over here. Alice and Nell Harper Lee lived together here in Monroeville.
Okay.
Harper Lee lived part of her time here in Monroeville, part of the time in New York City. As she got older, she spent more time here, and then finally got to the place she was just here all the time.
Okay.
So, but they loved when she was here in her older age time. She loved to feed the ducks at our lake, and loved to go to David's Catfish House and have a meal.
Well, what's the name of the lake?
Whitey Lee Lake.
Okay.
So
Lots of leaves.
here.
Okay.
This is another one of our great little shops. The art room
Cute
and the
little
framery.
boutique
We've got
stores
a
here.
lot of great boutiques.
Yeah.
A lot of shopping to be done here. Nell Harper Lee's house, like I told you, was right beside Truman Capote's house.
Okay.
Nell Harper Lee's house was sold many years ago to the Hardy family, who put a little restaurant there instead, and they moved to another house. But so this little restaurant is our oldest restaurant in Monroeville.
Okay.
We've had it forever. It's a great little milkshake hamburger place. Drive up, you can get it, and you just eat outside if you want to, or take it home. All that's left is the limestone little wall around here, but you can see where the
Foundation.
goldfish, the foundation. This is the wall around it, and they had a goldfish pond right there.
Okay.
So-
Oh my gosh, look how small.
Uh-huh. So you can tell this is Nell's Dairy Dream was Nell Harper Lee's house. This was her house. They were literally
Next door neighbor.
next door neighbors. The elementary school is right there, so they could walk to the school together, play all they wanted to do here, walk to downtown, see the courthouse, see her dad's office. Everything was right here, just in a short
Yeah.
distance. Albert, you found you a shady spot, huh? So this sculpture, of course, is for Truman Capote. If you're a fan of Truman Capote at all, you know that he always had a little fedora and he was big on dark sunglasses. So that one represents him.
Very cool.
Okay, y'all want to go into the museum
Sure.
now? A lot of things shut down on Saturdays. They're open, I think it's till 2 on Saturdays. But we always have those available if people want to come on other days.
If they
decide
realize.
to come. We, of course, want them to come during the week so that things will be open, or at least come before 2, so you can come to the shops around the square.
Yep.
There's available that are free that you can get right here outside of the museum. We also have them outside of the Chamber of Commerce. We have them in a little kiosk that they're open all the time. That's what it is. All right,
No
so
worries.
we'll put our mask on and we'll head in here. We have 2 permanent exhibits here at the museum, one for Harper Lee and one for Truman Capote. At different times during the year, they do have other exhibits, like we have this great, fabulous quilt exhibit that comes at different times too.
You heard that.
The play, like I said, that's in the spring.
And the fall festival is?
Well, we have a Monroeville market
Yeah,
that's coming
okay.
up in November that will have vendors all around the square, and so always
Well,
like
that's
coming
just in
on
time
here.
for Christmas. That's perfect.
That's right.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Hey, how you doing? Just fine. Gail, this is Wendy Payne, and she is a travel writer.
Yep, and this is my friend Tracy, who is a librarian in Huntsville, Alabama. And
So nice.
My name's Nathan Carter. I'm the director of sites here at Monroe County Museum. Well, we also call the old Courthouse Museum. We do have a Harper Lee exhibit up on the 2nd floor,
excellent.
which is also where the courtroom is, which was replicated for the film version of To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay.
And we disappoint people regularly with the news that the movie was not filmed here. As much as we would like for it to have been, it was not. Henry Bumstead, who was the production designer on the film and actually won an Oscar for art direction for the movie, came to Monroeville to scout it as a location.
Okay.
So it was considered, but for a number of reasons. One, Monroeville had changed a lot in the 30 years between the time setting of the book in the 1930s to then what was early 1960s.
Exactly.
Also, this was still our active courthouse when they made the movie. Our new courthouse was not completed until 1963.
Okay.
So, but we were talking about our exhibits upstairs, which include Harper Lee, the courtroom. We also have a Truman Capote exhibit upstairs.
Okay.
Because Truman grew up here. Actually, the Lee family had moved in next door to his mother's family, where he lived. And that's how Truman and Nell Harper Lee became such good friends in childhood. They were actually next door neighbors. We always encourage our visitors to go up to the 3rd floor.
Okay.
That allows them to go out onto the balconies inside the courtroom itself. Yeah, our world map showing where visitors have traveled from.
Isn't that incredible?
I love that. America's all covered up.
But I love like these other
Australia, New
countries.
Zealand. Yep. Look at that. Europe too. Way to go. But people from Africa and South America. Okay. I love Scotland.
Gregory Peck came to visit. He, of course, wanted to meet Mr. Lee, which he did, and that was in preparation for his role as Atticus Finch. Harper Lee and Gregory Peck became really good friends, lifelong friends. Harper Lee actually gave her father's pocket watch to Gregory Peck after Mr. Lee passed away.
So, do you know if she was on the set, if she was a part of the dialogue?
She was very much a part of it, yes.
That's really cool.
Yes. In fact, there's information upstairs about some of that.
And this is, we were, when we walked from the courthouse down to where the file house was that Truman Capote lived in, and the Lee home too, and then the schoolyard, you can see now just kind of how close. And this is kind of where, instead, this is kind of like where the Cannon gas station is, right?
Yeah.
So that would be look
at all the tree line though.
Mm-hmm.
Compared. Yeah.
So during the play, we have the choir that's up here, and the children that are the actors will be right along there too, watching the whole trial go on.
Along with Reverend Sykes.
And then, unfortunately, due to COVID this year, it was canceled. But we're hoping everything is better by
Yes.
next spring, that we can jump right back into normalcy then.
And it's April and May.
April and May, they have school performances that a lot of schools bring their older kids to come see the play during the day. And then we have the nighttime performances. So Monroeville has 3 Pulitzer Prize winners here from our town. Harper Lee and Truman Capote, and Cynthia Tucker is a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist.
When visitors come in, we do now have an admission charge. It's $5 a person.
Okay, that's not much at all.
That's to see the exhibits upstairs.
Yeah, it's just wonderful. Well
the
done.
ground floor is actually available at no charge.
And what are your hours?
We are open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. until 4 p.m.
Okay.
And Saturdays, 10 a.m. until 2 p.m.
Okay.
And we are in the Central Time Zone.
Your website?
Yes, MonroeCountyMuseum.org.
Okay.
ORG. Facebook? Yes, we're on Facebook.
Okay, excellent. So people can make a trip and stop in
Absolutely.
to see the old
Yes.
Courthouse Museum. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
Thanks so much for having me.
Well, we're glad you're here today. I hope you've enjoyed. We've had a nice little walk around the town.
We have.
And told you some good little tidbits about our town. So
And Nathan gave us a nice little
yes,
tour.
a great tour at the museum. So we just want to invite everybody to come to Monroeville and visit our town. We've got a lot going on. Usually there's more going on, but COVID has kind of canceled a few things, so we're still trucking ahead with things.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the history of Monroeville and...
Well, we are an old town. We're an agriculture town. Agriculture, pines, that's
timber, you
timber,
said.
all of that. Those
Yeah.
are the big industries
And we saw
here.
some timber trucks
That's
today,
right.
and
Log
so
trucks
still
we
going
love
on.
to see them in Monroeville because somebody's making money when you see a log truck.
There you go.
But tourism is a big thing for our town. A lot of people are moved by To Kill a Mockingbird, and they want to come and see where Harper Lee lived and just the setting of what inspired her
Exactly.
to write To Kill a Mockingbird.
Exactly. And Monroeville is about 4 hours from Huntsville, from North Alabama, but how far is it from Birmingham?
We're about 3 hours from Birmingham, an hour and a half from Montgomery, an hour and a half from Mobile, so we're real close. If you're going to the beach, we are a perfect stop
Right
on the way. We have a lot of
Right on the way.
visitors that they do go to the beach and they'll stop, see Monroeville, and then head back, head to the beach, or vice versa on the way home.
Well, and there's wonderful opportunities to do some shopping. There's
Absolutely.
boutique shops.
We have great shops downtown, a lot of boutiques, great little restaurants, an ice cream and coffee shop. You can definitely make it a perfect day trip here, or spend the night. We love for people to spend the night too. We've got some brand new Airbnbs that are perfect for people that are wanting to be downtown for the plays that we have. And
Tell us a little bit about the place. Yeah.
so in April and May, the play is put on by the Mockingbird Company, which is Harper Lee's company. And so it's put on exactly how she would want the play to be done. It starts in April, and we have young audience, which are for school children. And a lot of schools bring their classes here, and they see the performance during the day. And then we have nighttime performances too. Usually they're on Thursday and Friday and Saturday nights too. And it's just all through May. You can find all of that information on tokillamockingbird.com.
Okay.
And that you can buy tickets from Eventbrite straight from the website, or if you would rather not do it on the internet, you can call the Mockingbird Company and they will mail you
That's all
tickets.
on the
All that's on their
website,
website.
too.
And the play draws just thousands of people every year. People from all over the country. I know at the museum when I showed you the map of all of the people that have been here, we just have people from all over the world that come. They come to the play and just enjoy their time in Monroeville. The first act of the play is outside, and it's great sitting outside. We have a stage that is always up. And then the second act is in the old courthouse. So it's just a charming thing to do, and it's listed as one of the top 10 events in Alabama.
Absolutely.
So,
And it's a story, To Kill a Mockingbird book is a story that's still relevant today, was relevant then.
Absolutely.
People need to hear it, read it, see it. So this is definitely a spot that you should come, not just for tourism, but for education too. It'd be a great place to take kids, especially if you're homeschooling or at home this season during
COVID. We do have a lot of homeschoolers that will come, and they come tour the town. They come to our office, to the Chamber of Commerce. We have all types of informational things that you would need for your time here in Monroeville. And we have people that come, they see the play, and enjoy their time, young and old. I know I spoke to you about Riker's Mill, which is just 20 minutes from Monroeville, and it's a property that's owned by our museum. And they had a wonderful Pioneer Days that school children will come. It's a great family time. They have one on a Saturday too that's just a reenactment of Pioneer Days from the 18th. So Truman Capote spent a lot of his childhood here in Monroeville. His mother was from here. She was a Falk, and when his parents divorced, she kind of dropped him off here in Monroeville with some aunts, and so he lived here till he was about 8 or 9. Became best friends with Harper Lee. They literally lived right next door to each other. When his mother remarried, he moved back to New York with his family, but he still came back to Monroeville for his any kind of summer vacations, holidays. He considered Monroeville his home. And so we do have 2 permanent exhibits at the museum, one of Harper Lee and one of Truman Capote as well too. So.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah, so if you're a Truman Capote fan, they also have the books in the gift shop of almost every piece he's written, and as well as Harper Lee, and so a very cool gift shop in the museum itself.
That's
well.
right.
So.
We've got a lot of things to see too. We have the literary sculpture, bronze sculpture trail. That's a great walking tour that you can. We also have literal walking tour brochures that people can pick up at the chamber office or at the museum and go for a walk themselves and know about the history of Monroeville. We have several murals here in Monroeville too that are always a highlight that people come and see those too. We have all of this information is listed on our visitmonroevilleal.com website. That's the website straight for visitors too.
Okay, excellent. And you can be found on Instagram.
Yes,
Facebook.
we have, the Chamber has Instagram and Facebook. It's Monroeville, Monroe County Chamber of Commerce on both of those, and we will keep you up to date on all things going on here too. Right now we have been doing free summer drive-in movies. That we had a series in June, and it was so well received that we have two this coming up this week in July.
Do you do classic movies? Or?
Well, these have all been kid movies, but our plan is if college football season is canceled, we will have more drive-in movies that may be more for teens and adults too in classic movies. Because I mean, if we're not watching football, we might as well have a drive-in movie. So that's kind of what we're thinking.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for having me here.
We're glad you're in Monroeville.
I will absolutely be back. This
Great.
has been just such a pleasure to introduce me to this town that's just wonderful, and I enjoyed meeting you, and thanks for the tour.
Absolutely. Well, we're happy to have you and any of your friends on the internet. We'd love for y'all to come too and contact us at the Chamber of Commerce, and we can line you up with all things Monroeville.
Excellent. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Hi, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I have much more content on my website, travelwithwendy.net, and you can also support this channel by becoming a Patreon patron. The links are below. Remember, it's always an adventure when you travel with Wendy.